What's up, baby? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems, welcome back to the Absolutely Show. We're back in the pocket, sitting here with your podcast Daddy-O Aiden. What's up, baby? Bow, bow, bow. Hit it, DJ Aiden on the ones and twos, and it's me, Absolutely Kimbrel, back in the saddle with you guys. I hit that table there. If you're watching, you can see it. If you're listening, you can hear it. Boom, baby. Call me Frodo. I got that ring on me. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Love is in the air in Nashville, Tennessee. Love is in the air everywhere. It feels like. We are being led to believe that the world is scary and falling apart and dissolving into nothing. And all I look around and see in my life are people falling in love and taking the next step with each other. That's what my life is. All my boys are getting married or getting engaged, and people are taking the plunge, and it feels good, man. Feels good. Dang it. Didn't mean to say the F word in the first minute, but gosh dang, it feels good. Don't get mad at me, YouTube algorithm gods. I was just overtaken by how good I feel, man. I really do. It has been a hot couple weeks, baby. Been a hot couple weeks. Today is what? The 16th? Today is the 16th, I believe. 15th. That's how good I feel. I've lost all track of time, baby. Today's the 15th. 8 days ago, I got married. 7/7/25, baby. That's right. Lock it in. It is my wife's lucky number, 7. Shout out to the Mazzas. She's one of 5 kids plus 2 parents. That's 7. My wife has a 7 tattooed on the back of her arm. Just a little number 7. It's always been her lucky number. It looks like an L upside down. So, hey, double meaning there. And we got married on 7/7, baby. Out in Las Vegas, Nevada. Out in Vegas, baby. The marriage capital of the world, as they put it. And it was great, man. We got married in Las Vegas at the Little White Chapel with a 6-month pregnant wife, or as we call it in Kentucky, a traditional marriage. Just holding it down. It couldn't have gone better. We went out there with our friends, Zach and Malia. They were our witnesses. It was simply beautiful. It was really, really good. We loved it. The world's getting married right now. And when I say the world, I mean the world, dude. We went to the Little White Chapel, made famous from the Hangover movies. I was just showing Aiden some pictures, and he goes, that looks like the room from the Hangover. It was. Good eye. Guy's a cinephile. We got married at the Little White Chapel, and we stayed at Caesar's Palace, where Zach Galifianakis famously asked, does Caesar live here? It was the same one, man, and it was really beautiful. It was a wild whirlwind of travel. We landed in Las Vegas at 11 a.m. Took an Uber from the airport to the courthouse to pick up all of our paperwork and stuff. Took an oath from some lady named Mackenzie. She did a great job. Thank you, Mackenzie. And then we went back to our hotel. Just put on some clothes. I tell you what I did. I just flew out there in my suit. I didn't want my suit to get all wrinkled in a bag or whatever. So I just, wore a suit to the airport, man. It feels good. It's not the comfiest thing to travel in, but you're walking through an airport in a suit and everyone kind of looks at you like a second time. Like, I wonder what that guy's doing. I didn't look like a businessman either. I was wearing like a white linen shirt. I'm surprised I didn't get like frisked. I looked like a drug dealer walking through the airport. It was very cool. But so we go back. I'm already ready. I don't have to do my hair or makeup or anything. I'm wearing a suit. I'm good to go. All I had to do was take my socks off that I was wearing with my Birkenstocks to travel. Because I'm not wearing socks and sandals to my wedding. I'm not a hillbilly. Okay, sandals only. Had my toes out for the nuptials, like a classic man. This is how busy it is out there in Vegas. This is how much much love is in the air. We called the Little White Chapel, who we wanted to get married by, and we called them at 11 o'clock. And they were like, and we were like, hey, we got all our paperwork. We're here. We want to get married today. And they said, we'd love to have you. They had 2 open slots, noon or 8:30 at night. So the weddings take like 15 to 20 minutes, and they were 100% booked up minus noon and 8:30. That's 8.5 hours of 20-minute weddings. There were dozens and dozens and dozens of people got married that day. The couple before us were British and looked and sounded it, and it was very cool. I mean, they looked so deeply British. They couldn't have been more British if they were drinking tea. They were so British, and then we went and got married after them, and then when we come back in to, like, buy little keepsakes and stuff, the couple that was up next after them, German, and they flew in from Europe. So people were getting married out there. It made me feel really good. Since we're talking about weddings and marriage, shout out to the Larsons. If you're listening to this, you might also listen to Boy Storm, and that is Connor Larson. He got married to his sweet, sweet wife, Christy, and Christy and Connor are married. It was a beautiful little ceremony at their house, very small. Couple comics, friends and family. It was awesome. They did a good job, and it was beautiful. Not a dry eye in the building for that one. It was very nice. So shout out to the Larsons. And I got married on 7/7, and then the other third of the Boy Storm, Kyler Finney, him and his girl, Kiana, they got engaged here at Zany's. He did it on stage at New Material Monday. So just a beautiful thing. Love is in the air. People are taking the dive and doing it. It is just fantastic, man. Tell you what, Las Vegas, what a place, dude. We were there for, I think, 18 hours maybe. Landed at 11 a.m. on Monday and then flew out at 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And that place just never really stops. We were walking around on Monday night. The girls were up asleep. And Zach and I were, just burning on energy, just walking around, not doing anything bad. I mean, nothing to do. We were just walking around, kind of losing money. I'll say that much. Didn't lose that much, but anything that I did bet is now gone. I didn't end up at all. It was funny. I played a roulette wheel for like 2 or 3 minutes and was just hotter than a pistol. Hit 5 in a row. I was up like $1.40. I was like up $1.40. I print out this little ticket. It says I've got like, $200 on it. And I was just kind of big balling, feeling good. So I went up to my wife and I gave her the ticket and I was like, go crazy, baby. And she lost it on a slot machine, $200. And I'm not kidding, 45 seconds. She did. I don't think she exactly knew how the slot machine worked, and she ended up every spin was like $20, and she lost it all in 1 minute, which is fine by me, man. I won enough that it didn't feel like losing, Played some blackjack with Zach. That was fun. Played some blackjack, and yeah, it was good. Had this sweet little Russian dealer named like Svetlana or something. No, what was her name? Vesna, and she talked like this. And she smoked cigarettes. She was great, man. She tried to help us, but, there's no helping a fool like me. I used up all my luck when I was born, dude. I'm too lucky. I can't have, a good family and a good wife and a healthy baby and a burgeoning comedy career and then also be able to, like, win at blackjack. That's not fair to anybody, so I can just take that, What you got?
It's not the hand you were dealt.
It's not. Hey, nicely done, sir. It is not the hand I was dealt, indeed. But just another whirlwind, man. Just another whirlwind. It feels like I haven't been in here with Aiden in, like 10 to 14 days? Been a couple weeks. We've been gone, man. Hope you had a happy 4th of July. I hope that you enjoyed the fireworks and didn't record them. I did have some people slide into my DMs about the fireworks about me admonishing people who are recording the fireworks. A lot of people agreeing with me, but then I did have a buddy who is also a father or a new father, and he hit me with a great piece of advice. He goes, "Hey, man, I agree. Yeah, you don't want to record the fireworks, right? But," and it was sweet. I really enjoyed it. He goes, "Record the baby, record your kid watching the fireworks." So I do want to give just like a little bit of a change to that. You're allowed to have your video camera out recording while a fireworks display is going off, but instead of pointing it towards the sky, point it to the ground and watch the little kid like absolutely spaz out and, hopefully not freak out and cry, but more so just kind of be in awe and wonderment of the beauty of the fireworks. It was a wild day of travel. I know that I say that all the time on this podcast, but not much has changed in that front. I went to a little lake house down in Coleman, Alabama on 7/4 for the 4th of July and the 5th of July. So I was down in Alabama 7/4 and 7/5, drove back the morning of 7/6. That was a Tuesday, I believe. Yes. Yeah. No, 7/4 was a Friday. So we were down there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right?
6 was a Sunday.
Yeah, 6 was a Sunday. So then we get back on the 6th. Then on Monday morning, hop on a plane at like 3 a.m., fly out to Vegas, do the wedding. That was wonderful. Flew back Tuesday morning on the 7th. And then Tuesday at like 3 o'clock, hopped on the old Ratmobile and drove up to Philadelphia. And then we did Philadelphia, Rochester, and 2 shows in Detroit. They were fantastic. Feel very lucky for that. The shows were good. They were not without some fireworks, if you will say. They were very fun. They were good. The one in Philly, massive. It was like 11,000 people. It was Zach's first time in an arena. It was very fun watching him go out there and kind of learn the motions of doing that. He's a beast. He killed. He did great. And it was fun being with him. Dude, you want to talk about testing a friendship. Zachy T, friend of the pod, I was with that sumbitch for 10 days in a row in 7 different states. Man, dude, not one little quarrel. I mean, I'd say by the end of it, we were kind of sniping at each other a little bit, but I mean, no, it went really well. It was fun. Shows were good. Wearing my Detroit hat. Shout out to the Tigers. Got to meet a bunch of the Tigers. That was very cool. The Fox Theater in Detroit.
Looked beautiful.
Dude, might be the best venue in America. 1928. It was made in 1928. And I don't know. I think I was talking about it with Aunt Kelly. Shout out Aunt Kelly. And since I'm shouting out Aunt Kelly, I also have to shout out Aunt Sally. She's listening as well. I wasn't aware until I was made aware after I shouted out Aunt Kelly, and now Aunt Sally is salty. So I do love baby Sal as well. I love you, Sal. Thank you for listening. You're also on this team.
We love you.
We love you, Sally, okay? So there's your shout out. Don't hold it against me. But no, I was talking about with Kelly, the American theaters that still exist from like the 20s and the 30s, and they're everywhere. They're in most cities, most major cities, if they have like a theater, or if they were, a relevant city within the last 120 years or so, they've got a theater. And they are like the last vestige of like just kind of beauty and tradition in this country. It was the Fox Theater. I was really taken aback, man. It was like if Hogwarts and the Titanic had a baby, and then that baby married the Cheesecake Factory. It's just gorgeous. The detail that they put into these things back in the 20s, it really, not to sound corny, takes your breath away. You can't believe it, man. And not to harp and be like, we don't do things the way that we used to, but we just don't. Every new building now is just kind of modern looking, and it's made of just steel and metal and glass, and I guess they're made to be efficient and they're made to be built quickly and easily or whatever. But man, that Fox Theater, dude, every little square inch of that place was like a museum. It was like an art project. I couldn't, it took your breath away walking in it in 2025, and I was just laughing so much thinking about people walking in there during like the Depression era of Detroit. Like, in 1928 in the early 30s or anything, you had never seen opulence or grandeur like that ever before. There was no videos. There was no pictures. You didn't see anything like that. So you just worked at the Ford plant all day. You made 45 cents, which meant you were rich. Then you went home to your 9 kids, and then maybe a couple times a year you got to go to the Fox Theater. And I just can't imagine what it was like walking in there, like with a little buzz off of some like Prohibition bathtub gin. And then you look up at the ceiling and there's like 150 golden carved lions into the wall, and the ceiling is meant to look like the night sky. It took my breath away, man. I walked around on Friday. You got all day to kill. And I just walked around the Fox Theater barefoot, just really getting in touch with it and getting to know it. And I went and I sat up at the very top, man, by myself. And I'm not going to lie to you, I had myself a little cry, dude. Had myself a little cry. I was 5 days post-marriage. We had just had a little baby appointment, and the baby's healthy and Anna's healthy. And I could not believe I was getting to perform at a place like this. And it was really, really nice, man. It was just really nice. I got to talk to the staff of the Fox Theater. I asked them straight up, anytime I get to be at one of these old theaters, I find the oldest dude who looks like he's worked there the longest, and I just go, tell me about it, stud. What are the ghost stories? Because I know this place is haunted. And, dude, I was right. Fox Theater in Detroit, deeply haunted. This is going to sound, you're going to roll your eyes, man, but, like, I felt it. You feel it, man, when these places have a strange energy to them, man. It's been around for 98 years. 98 years in this business. A lot of weirdos, a lot of pain, a lot of strife, a lot of joy. Every emotion's been conveyed in that building. And, yeah, I walked down. I was in the basement. I was going to the catering. It was... You walk into this basement and you just get this little chill, and you're like, God, I hope whatever is here right now is nice. And apparently the spirits or whatever, the entities that are there are pretty chill. I was talking to him, and maybe somebody in Detroit will be able to like corroborate this, but apparently what's been happening at the Fox like the last couple of years is people will be there by themselves, right? Closing down. They'll be in one room, then they'll go to another room, and then when they come back into that room, there's a small circle of chairs. Chair circles. 3 people have that story that happened in Fox Theater. And I'm not a skeptic. If anything, I'm kind of naive and just like want to believe too much. But I put on my skeptic hat and I was like, all right, but who's like the prankster around here who's doing that? Someone's got to be doing that, right? And they were all like, I was in the building by myself. I didn't do it. 3 people have that story. It's pretty wild. A couple people died during the construction of the Fox Theater. Not this weekend.
I thought you were saying from the ghost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A couple people did get strangled by ghosts this weekend, but I'm going to gloss right over that. No, during the construction in the mid-20s, a couple people died. No one died during the making of Mount Rushmore, but a couple guys bit the dust while... And Aiden thinks that's propaganda. There's no way. Aiden knows that some souls were lost.
No
Aiden knows there was some souls lost during the old Rushmore construction, but it was a cool one. I saw it. So all the walls are like plaster, right? That's why they get them to look so pretty, and they can kind of mold them up into all these ornate things. But a guy was up there on a rope snaps. He falls to his death, but the plaster was wet. And he scrapes the wall, and there's it's like a handprint with five fingerprints going down the wall, and it's still there. So that's pretty wild. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, Detroit, man. I tell you what, Detroit, bad reputation, right? Detroit's got a bad reputation, and I don't think it quite deserves it. It was a delightful city. Granted, I was there. I didn't go outside of like a 1.5 mile radius. I was downtown, and I was there, with Theo, so there was like a little bit more access and everything. But it was really nice, man. I don't know. I shout out Detroit. I could live in Detroit. I enjoyed it, man. Had some good clubs there. The Tiger Stadium was very sweet. Big tiger heads all over the place. It was great, man. Rochester, New York. Not the same. Not and I got a lot of love for Rochester. We had a great show there, and that town needs some love. I'm not going to disparage Rochester. I think they're a bunch of proud people. If you're still there in Rochester, thank you for holding it down. Your town is on the come up after what appears to be about 50, 60 years of straight losses. It was a tough town, man. I'll say this: there were the people in there seemed to be in shape. I saw a couple guys in the park doing Tai Chi. Just kidding. They were on fentanyl, and they were really bent up and wiggling around. And hope they're okay. They were getting some sprints in, running away from the cops, doing some curls, if you know what I mean. Yes, Rochester, tough town, man, but a great American city. It was fun. I had one of the wildest sets of my life in Rochester. I was up there doing the feature spot, which was fun. A little bit of a different vibe, doing like 15 minutes or so, and the Rochester show was just crazy. I'm sitting in there. I'm in my dressing room, and my phone buzzes, and it's the Rat Man, and he's like, "Yo, come to my dressing room." So I'm like, "All right, yeah, I think we're just gonna talk about whatever, like the local riffs he's gonna do or I'm gonna do." And I walk into his room, and he's laying on the ground on his stomach, and I go, "What's wrong?" And he looks up at me. This dude slipped a disc in his back. He was at the gym right before then, and I mean, he couldn't. He was like standing like this, like he was messed up and had to be on stage in a half hour, like he couldn't walk. Right, so we're freaking out. It's crazy. We've got 30 pounds worth of ice on his back, and then we would take it off, and then he would like tell me and Zach like where to put our hands on his back, and then we would just push his heart. Dude, we YouTubed how to fix a slipped disc. YouTubed it. It was a trip. 3 minutes before I was on stage, I was in Theo's dressing room, like trying to reset his back off of a YouTube video, trying not to like paralyze him. I'm like, dude, I don't want to push that hard. He's like, push as hard as you can, bruh. It was bizarre. So that was like 3 minutes before my set. I'm not getting in the zone or going over notes or anything. I'm sitting there trying to reset the Rat's back. Then I get brought up on stage, and it was fun. It was a good show, man. Like, Rochester doesn't get a lot of comedy, and they were there for it. They were rowdy. It was a ripper of a show. But then I had these two dudes in the front row, man, who were just brutal. Brutal. Like, do you, the Happy Gilmore? You will not make this putt, jackass. Like, these dudes were heckling in like, if it wasn't ruining the show for a couple hundred people, I would think that it was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, I was up there like having a good time, right? I'm wearing the local hockey jersey. Shout out the Rochester Americans, which they shortened to the Amerks, which is pretty representative of that town's IQ, I think. And I'm up there having a good set. Doing really well, hitting punchlines, 6,000 people laughing, clapping when I ask them to. Like we were banging, right? But every time it would get quiet, these guys in the second row would be like, "You suck!" Like, "Get off the stage!" Like they were screaming through Zach's set. Zach just ate it because he didn't want to like disrupt the show that early on, and then they were just kept chirping me. I'm talking like, you suck. Fuck you. Take that jersey off. You don't do it. I'm like, you know, it's weird because in a comedy club, if somebody in the first row, second row is doing that, the whole room hears, right? But in an arena, I can hear it, and then I can tell by the faces of the people sitting around them. Obviously, they can hear it. It's messing the show up. The job of the openers is to prime the room and get it right and try to work out any kinks, whether it's with like sound or lighting or problem audience members for the headliner, right? That's what an opener's job is. We're fluffers. We go out there to try to prime the room, okay? It ain't my show. It ain't Zach's show. It's Theo's show. And our job is to get the room proper, get them laughing, let them know what the expectations are, right? So I had to do something about it. This guy was just chirping me. So eventually I start talking to him and get him kicked out. I hated to do it. They're sitting up front, man. That's not a cheap ticket. But
I just want to clarify. So, like, what you mean by that is when you talk to him, the whole room doesn't even know what you're talking about.
100%.
That's what you're
I
saying.
looked at the Reddit afterwards, and people were like, what did that guy get kicked out for?
Yeah.
Right?
The size of the room.
Yeah, the room's just so big. There's 7,000 people there. So if I were, I had to kind of narrate a little bit what was going on. He goes, take that jersey off. And it ripped the breath out of my lungs. I mean, imagine being on your heels in front of that many people. I was like, take my jersey off. And then, everyone up in the bleachers thinks I'm having a mental break. They don't know take my jersey off. What are you talking about? Right? But so I explain it. I'm like, this guy's telling me to take my jersey off. He goes, you don't deserve to wear that jersey. He's out of his mind. That guy is all pupils. He's corked out of his mind. Okay. So regrettably for him, he's down a couple $100 now, but I get him kicked out. I try to go back into material, and then the whole stadium erupts. It was funny timing. Like, I hit a line and the whole place goes crazy. So in my head, I'm like, the kid's got it, man. I'm good at this, right? And then I go into the next line, and in the middle of the setup, the same eruption. So I was like, okay, something's going on that I don't know what's going on. So I block the lights, look, and I see these two dudes just getting their ass kicked by security. They threw a beer at security, and then the security guards just started busting these guys up, right? So then I start chanting, Jerry, Jerry. Whole arena's chanting Jerry. I get them to all boo the guys. We was like, nah, 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 nah. I mean, it was like the worst night of these guys' life, right? So I carry on. Theo's in the back, not sure if he's going to be able to walk, right? He gets a shot of Toradol. He's covered in icy hot patches. I had to give a disclaimer at the end of my set. I'm like, you guys are in for a special show. We got Theo Vaughn, obviously, but he threw his back out less than an hour ago, but he's going to come out here and he's going to give it to you, and it's going to be special. So you guys ready? And everyone's all locked in. I bring up Theo. He ends up ripping. I mean, can barely move. The guy's a real physical act-out guy, but, the adrenaline takes over. The stage health is a real thing. I've never been sick on stage. I've never had an injury on stage. I've never sneezed on stage. You don't cough on stage. You don't fart on stage. You get up on stage, the adrenaline takes over. It's called stage health. It's a very real thing. So Theo's out there. He's ripping. I get off stage. My heart is going. It was such a crazy just adrenaline dump. I did 21 minutes and ended up doing maybe 12 minutes of material. I was mostly up there just riffing. More people were yelling. You roll to a city like Rochester or some of these markets we do, they don't have a lot of experience going to comedy shows. So they see you up at the arena and they're just talking to you, right? So it was just a crazy set. Went well. Felt good about it. I get off stage. Zach's sitting there, right? Zach had come out of his locker room when he heard the entire arena boo at the same time. And he was like, what is going on with Lee? What did he say, right? So he doesn't know what's going on. He's back there decompressing, like, breathing, drinking a water, whatever. And so I'm explaining to him what went down. I was like, I had to kick these guys out. Everyone booed them. Then they ended up getting their ass kicked by security. I was like lost up there. I had to like riff the whole set. I'm explaining to him this, right? I walk off stage, straight outside with Zach, smoke a cigarette. And we get outside, and 10 seconds after we got outside, the two dudes that I got kicked out of the show, who had literally been like thrown out of the venue by their pants like a cartoon, like, get out of here. They come around the corner, and it's just me and Zach and the two dudes. They were so inebriated that they didn't realize it was us, like that we were the openers. They didn't realize it for like 2 or 3 minutes. So we're just kind of sitting there entertaining them, backing away, not really ruffling any feathers or whatever. And these guys, like, it was a movie scene. The guy goes, he's like, I didn't come to see these two idiots. I came to see Theo Vaughn. And I'm wearing this like very like discernible jersey, right? It's red, white, and blue. It says Americans on it. And he's like looking down at the ground because he can barely lift his head up. He's like, all I did was tell that. And then he called me a slur. He goes, all I did was tell that, whatever slur you think he called me. And he goes, all I did was tell that to take his jersey off. And he was like, it was you. He's like, it was you son of a bitch. You made everyone boo me. And then so I started chirping, and I'm like, man, you can't act like that. I don't know what to tell you, man. You were ruining the show. It's like you were being an idiot. I'm sorry that it had to go down like that, but like, have you ever been to a show? And this guy was like, oh man, I want to be a comedian. I was just trying to make some jokes too. So I'm laughing and like trying to put it off. I was like, I know, brother, but that's just not how it works, It's just not how it works. I go, you can't do that. And then his partner was like, what? That's freedom of speech. Like this, I'm not making any of this up. He goes, that's freedom of speech, man. He goes, it's America, dude. You can't do that. And I said, I go, do you think that me kicking you out of a comedy show for acting like an idiot infringes on your constitutional rights? And he goes, you're goddamn right, man. That's what I mean by that. So then me and Zach just started laughing and kind of like clowning on him. And then, they just got buck. They got buck. Yeah, not proud of it, but yeah, me and Zachy T got into another little rumble. The guy took the first swing. They drew first blood. It's all healed up, but like this looks like razor burn, but it's not. I've got a picture of it. Like he got me. I had to like go to the EMT and get it cleaned. I should have gotten a tetanus shot, man. This kid, I don't know, man. This guy scratched me pretty good, and we got our licks in. We definitely won. It was crazy. It was a wild day. Me and Zach are legends in Rochester. The police force, dude, this tells you what was going on in Rochester. We just got in a full-on fight. The security guards were there and the police were there, just watching it go down. I'm like looking at the cops. I'm like, help. Dude, the cops loved it. We got done. Me and Zach go inside. These guys get arrested. These guys got arrested, and me and Zach just go back inside. And, dude, the police force were like, you boys are hired, man. You boys are hired, dude. You're part of the force. Come on in. So, we're going to be back there at the Comedy at the Carlson on September 19th and September 20th. So, hopefully those guys don't come and exact revenge. But, that was a wild one. Rochester got the best of us. I'll say that.
Rock and roll comedy, man. And we were so nervous. Like, it was just a bad look. We're not fighters. I know that in the last 4 months, I've had 2 stories about us getting in a fight. But, that's what happened. That's what happened in Rochester. It was crazy. I kicked 2 guys out of an arena show, and then 5 minutes after I got on stage, I was just in a full brawl with them. It was nuts. I mean, blood was spilt. It got gnarly, dude. But nah, other than that, excellent little trip. I did 7 states in 7 days. Feel good about it, man. I know that this one, hey, little bonus episode, huh? About 5 extra minutes for you. I know I'm kind of rambling on, but I don't know. I'm feeling good about it. Man. We just went public with like our wedding or whatever, and all the love is coming in. It's wild. You know what's funny is like people back in the day when you got married or had a baby or something big happens in your career, no posting about it. People get a lot of credit these days for doing stuff, and I think it's good in some ways. You want to share it with the world. But I think people just get a little too much credit these days. Back in, like, my mom gave birth to me for over a day, and then the only people who knew about it were family and friends who she told, you know? If my mom had put that on Facebook in the year 1990, first off, people would have been like, what's Facebook? But she would have just gotten a lot more love that she deserved, you know? It's funny that people just get so much credit these days. You get a promotion at work, you put it on Facebook, everyone says, good job. You get fired from work, you put it on Facebook, everyone's like, screw your boss. I don't know. I guess it makes us closer, or does it make us more distant? I don't know. Reach out to someone that you love or you miss today. Give them a call, tell them what you think about them, and try to take care of yourself. That's don't be your worst enemy. Be kind to yourself. And yes, like and subscribe. How about that? Share this to somebody that you like, you know, or don't like. Share it to your enemy and say, if you don't get on the right track, then you're going to get Rochestered by me. And you can call me. If somebody has slighted you enough and you feel like something needs to be done about it, you can call me and we'll take care of it. But in the meantime, just take care of yourself and the people around you. And I love you very much. And until next time, baby, Absolutely Show. We're out.